You're gonna remember a lot.
Don't tell us too much, we need something for you to say up here.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Oh, I'd like to call it in order for April 10, 2024. We'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, warrant bills assigned.
Yes.
Yep. Approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
John, do you want to open that door? Please.
All in favor? Okay. Minutes of the last one.
So we're gonna ask you to table those, we've been concentrating on taxes for now.
Yep, okay. Town administrator weekly update.
Just a couple of things, because like I said, our focus has been elsewhere. First is just to let you know that I've scheduled a public hearing for Barn Lights. They came in for their annual liquor license application. So we've scheduled a public hearing for April 24th, one of your Wednesday evenings. We've done the regulars, notified the fire chief, sheriff's department, we'll gather all the information, but we'll advertise it to see if anybody has any concerns they want to share with you. Reminder that the deadline to turn nomination papers in is this Friday. We still have several sets out, so if that's your choice, turn them in. We have also turned over the unregistered dog list to the animal control officer today. So many people think that it's just silly, but it's state law, it's outside of our control. We still have a page and a half of unlicensed dogs. At this point, he's just hanging door notices for summons. Dog licenses expire in December. Yeah. If they're not done by February, the animal control officer is supposed to start summoning them to court. So, maybe I'll pass this around at the end of the meeting, see if you know anybody, or, I mean, we've called, we've mailed letters, I've done everything we can do. Next.
You don't have to be certified or anything like
No,
that?
not for dogs, no.
Okay.
And you'll find that unfortunately some of them will have lost their dogs, I mean, but if they don't tell us, we will never know that.
Died or something.
Right, so usually they don't return our calls, but when the summons usually goes on, that's when we find out the dog is no longer with them. All right, notable events from the sheriff's department. In March, they arrested an individual for a theft case from the stolen yard truck and wood splitter that happened in Acton. Next was a referral to Adult Protective Services for a 72-year-old man on Pine Springs Road in Chapley, who looks like he was wandering away from his home. On March 4th, deputies responded to Hopper Road for a female with a knife threatening to kill herself. On March 6th, deputies assisted with recovering a stolen vehicle from Grant Road. It was a 1931 Model A. They did recover it. March 8th, they summoned an individual from Rochester for untruthful statements relating to a crash in Chapley, and they're looking for a 31-year-old male that was with her. March 14th, they responded to a home in Milton Mills Road for a disturbance. Individual was charged with assault and obstructing and refusing to submit to arrest. March 15th, they arrested an individual for felon possession of a weapon after a traffic stop on Route 109 in Acton. 23rd, they responded to a home on H Road for a reported suicide. And March 23rd, they also investigated a suspicious incident involving a 12-year-old girl who was walking on French Street and was approached by a male asking if she needed a ride. This is an ongoing investigation. We actually met with our deputy about this, and he's working very hard on it and has updated some information in the hallway for the residents. And then on the 26th, they've been looking for an individual in Acton for a violation of condition of release. Someone gave them some information that they were on Fox's Ridge Road. Looks like they fled in the woods, and she is now suspected of arson of a yurt at that same address. So, that's their information, and that's all I have for you.
Okay.
Does that cover both Acton and Chapley?
Yeah,
Yet most of those were Acton, weren't they?
this month is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I like to shout out to those guys, Sheriff's Department.
Absolutely.
I had a family member that went missing, and they come out in droves. A lot of dedication there. And matter of fact, I was out plowing during that really nasty storm, and I happened to see a sheriff shoveling somebody's, an older fella's porch off for him, so he
Really?
could get out, so.
Sanborn also, he told me that he had chainsaw, he brought a chainsaw to work for him that storm.
And he bailed me out, him and a couple other dudes bailed me out on, what's it, Man Road.
Yeah.
I went plowing in, got stuck
Yeah.
in with the trees. All I had was a little electric chainsaw that was not quite suffice for doing what I was doing. And, Mr. Sanborn and a
Yeah.
couple dudes came in and cut me out so I could get out with my plow truck.
Quite a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but, give them kudos to those guys there, helping out that old guy and helping me out.
Yep,
So-
good.
So thanks a lot. Okay, department head committee chair updates.
Rec.
Good evening.
Hello.
All right, so at this point, we just wrapped up cheerleading last night. We had our ceremony, and we are doing the, why am I having brain fart? We're doing a presentation for the school as well on Friday.
Can I ask, are those being filmed? I know there's been, I understand, I just learned today that there's some communication issues going on between you and the cable director. He's not able to use the app that you've sent him. I'm not sure the complete dialogue, but are we filming any of these cheering?
None of the cheering stuff has been filmed.
Because,
We haven't had anybody there that could do it because all of the cheering stuff is away.
we're not doing any cheering in town.
No, it's only practice in town for the comp.
This
We
is
don't have
competitive, right?
Huh?
This is the competitive. where-
Yeah, this is the competitive group.
So what are you doing on Friday?
Friday is the assembly at the school.
So that will be filmed? By the
I
school
would-
probably?
Yeah, the school usually films the assemblies.
I just want to make sure that, that you and the cable director are communicating, because I understand that you haven't been able to.
Well, it might be a good idea that you contact Mr. Corey and make sure that that is being taped. That way, if not, we can have Virginia to do that if she can.
Yeah, because I know he had reached out about having an issue, so he wanted me to add him direct to, so I added him direct to all of our game changer groups.
Yeah.
So that way he could see what the schedules are for everything.
You can just follow up with him, because my understanding is he's not getting any of them, so it's not getting filmed.
Yeah.
I think it's probably something.
Thank you.
Maybe once a week. I would contact him just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. You know, I mean, I'm just recommending
Yeah,
that.
no, I can
You know,
do
to
that.
make sure there's not, you know, any miscommunication once a week, just, you know, give them a buzz.
Yeah, can do that, that's not a problem. So that took the end of that. We are looking to try to find a location that we can do 2 days a week for the month of June for our cheer clinic. Just 2 hours, 2 days a week, to kind of keep the kids going and maybe add in some more interest to the plot,
How big an area do you need?
even just like a space like this.
She wants a hall, I just haven't gotten back to her on availability yet.
Okay.
We were gonna do it at the school, but I don't know if we can get in the evenings yet. They're in the process of hiring another janitorial staff.
Okay.
So we're not sure about what's going on there. So what I wanted to come to you guys about for tonight is when we had our board meeting, we had talked about a few things and they wanted me to approach you guys in regards to. So where we have baseball going pre-K to second grade, they were wanting to try to do something for that 3rd through 6th grade. And we had talked about in the past about doing flag football. So we were wanting to see if we could throw out interest to the town to see how many we have interested in doing just a flag football event at our field for the springtime.
When you say pre-K for baseball, but they're doing baseball 3rd and up just in Sanford?
Yeah, in Sanford.
Okay.
Yeah,
So those kids are gonna be playing in Sanford, they wouldn't be able to play flag football? Is that
Depends
right?
on the schedule.
yeah, depends on the schedule,
Okay.
yeah.
I saw that with the school when they had kind of lost interest with baseball. There was a survey that had been sent out to see the interest, and the flag football sounds good, but has been in consideration seeing like maybe that's not the most popular sport. Maybe there's another one that students would be interested, because I want to make sure that we have as many students engaged. We're not starting any program that's going to have low turnout.
I'm the one that sent out that survey.
Are
Flag
you still the
football,
athletic director over there? Oh, nice.
flag football did have a high number to it. That one was up there as well as lacrosse was up there, which is why we decided to go with lacrosse, because lacrosse has become a huge sport across. So we wanted to be able to offer that, and we have one of the teachers at the school who has a brother who does semi-pro. So it's the perfect fit for her to coach.
This is a season for lacrosse, isn't it? Is this?
Yes, this is lacrosse right now.
So the school is doing
The
lacrosse.
school is doing lacrosse.
Oh, they already are?
Yeah, we
Okay,
already,
good,
because we didn't
good.
have enough interest for a baseball team or a softball team.
Yeah.
So we decided to do that, and then we did volleyball for the girls. But me and the board are wondering about if we would be okay to gauge interest to see if there is the interest out there to do a rec 3 through 6 flag football.
You've already done a survey on this?
No.
and- Oh, I'm sorry.
That was in the-
That was the school, the middle school that we did it.
So,
Oh, I
so
see.
you're asking from us is pretty much permission to go and entertain the idea?
Yes, and if we have the interest to take action on the idea.
Well, that's something we ought to,
Well, I mean,
I think it's a two-step process,
Yes.
right? Let's find out what the interests are,
Okay.
and then we can talk about that.
Okay.
I would like to see lacrosse. I mean, I do a lot of work with different schools. I know that they have some programs for lacrosse for recs, and especially if the school's transitioning to a lacrosse program, having a feeder program into the school, I would like to see that as an option, not just flag football. I'd like to see 1 or 2
What
other
is-
sports in addition.
what is the age group that's playing lacrosse right now down there?
Right now, it's 6, 7, and 8.
Okay. And you're trying to fill a hole from third
To six.
3rd through 6th, to give them something to do if they didn't do baseball.
So there's only a little overlap there with 1, 2 grades, right? Something like that.
And so that overlap might be lacrosse or flag football,
Yeah, or they could do both.
or both.
Yeah, because our practice time for the rec is usually in the evening, whereas the school practice time is directly following school day. As long as we have the space for it, like basketball would be, girls would be first and the boys would be an hour and a half later type deal, but where we have the fields and that. I would love, and to kind of entertain what you had said, Dan, I would love to be able to do a program to be able to offer lacrosse as the rec as well. But I think it's something that we do need to work into. We wouldn't be able to do it this year, because we're already entering lacrosse. Lacrosse games start on the 26th.
Gotcha.
But it is something that I would love to entertain and possibly look at for next year. The only downfall is it's one of the more expensive sports.
Okay.
For just getting in for your gear and that, you're looking at anywhere from $160 to $400 for basic gear.
Yeah.
What are
Your
the prices for flag football?
flag football is just gonna be the baseball.
I like that thing.
Right, but you guys authorized the Sanford money, the baseball money to go to Sanford, so I just want to make sure we had a backup plan.
Yeah, we had the budgeted in there for flag football too.
For
So,
the new budget for next year.
No, for this past year, the year that we're in right now. We had it on the budget.
so this is something you wanna entertain yet, see what kind of interest there is. When would you wanna do this?
It would be,
For next,
no, we wanna start it now. Just to kind of give them that in between, because we have nothing going.
but everything's already started now, right?
It would be an all in-house program.
Okay, so then you don't have to worry about like competing with other.
Yeah, we're not gonna be competing with others. It'll be an in-house program where we can, have our own kids that can kind of, when we advertise out for sports, we advertise out to all the surrounding towns too. So Shapley does a lot with us. We might get Lyman, Newfields.
Yeah, so they're gonna actually have somebody else to play against them, right? Who are they
It would be,
playing?
it would be in-house
I think
games.
she means
Just in-house.
players, like the students
Oh,
will come in
players,
from the other
okay, I
towns and they'll be
understand
part
now.
of the same team.
So,
Yeah.
so they won't be playing from Lyman or anything like
No,
that?
no, no,
They're
no.
not, they don't have those teams?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So, and then if Wakefield doesn't have one and they wanna come hang out, they can.
I have no issue with
No,
at least
I have no
entertaining the idea.
No, let's find out.
So we'll put together a, survey, and then when we get results back, we'll let you know.
Cool.
So that was the first one. The second thing that I had a unanimous vote on was actually brought to us by Ian. Ian had mentioned it. We would like to be able to extend all of our offerings through the rec through 8th grade. Not that we're going to compete with the school, because if you're you're at the school team will come first. But if you're a brand new, say basketball, for example, you're brand new, you've never played basketball before, and we know that we have so many kids that kids are getting cut, we want them to have a backfall of someplace that they can go that they can play. Because right now, if you do basketball and you do get cut, you've got nothing unless you go to Mason Center, and I don't believe they go up to 8th grade.
Are they
I
cutting
do.
students after?
We're at the point now where we are, yeah, because we have a very strong soccer and basketball program.
That's impressive, because they never cut when I was in the school.
So you made the team, huh?
I think for our girls' team alone, I think we cut 4 or 5 kids. The boys' team, obviously. But when they
The Nassau College, they go right from little guys all the way up to super seniors.
do they?
Yeah.
But kind of the other thought is for those kids in town that may be homeschooled, that don't follow the vaccine protocol that the school requires.
So you're looking to have like a 7th and 8th grade team, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, basically like a middle school level team that we could have as well, if we have enough that would sign up for.
Is there enough competition for them to play other teams that you could?
Yeah, actually, one of the ones that plays the school itself is actually the athletic director for the rec in Wakefield.
So how would you work, so now, when we did the Nassau deal there, because I coached a couple, 3 years, and what problem we had was we would have kids that would come from the school team and go play on that team too. Are you gonna allow them to do that?
Yeah, basically what
So
it does.
the problem with that is the kids that don't get to play won't get to play.
No, if they're coming over, then we try to cut, like not cut kids off, but we try to make sure that we have, a team. If we've got 20 kids or something, we're gonna cut that into 2 teams. It's gonna be tight teams, but it's gonna be 2 teams that kids are gonna get a lot of chances to play.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So by allowing the school kid, like if you're on the school team, the school's going to come first. If you've got practice or a game with the school, you need to do practice or the game with the school first. They are your first priority. If you're going to do us as a backup, a secondary, you have some kids that are on some of these teams that don't have a whole lot of play time, but they get some.
Yeah, but I played basketball in high school and stuff, and I know what it's like to sit on the bench, okay? But what happens, and I coached, like I did the super seniors, we won every year, but the problem is when you take those kids, what we had to do down there was, those kids were coming out of the high school team, jumping on those teams there, okay? With kids who didn't make the high school team because they weren't very good,
Yeah.
it took their minutes up. That's all you're gonna end up doing. You're gonna take minutes away from the kids who can't play.
Well, on the flip side of that, by allowing it to be both the
Yep.
school team kids and these kids, we're going to be able to hopefully field that team. Because who knows, we might only have 6 or 7 kids that would be from that group. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of off the rails here anyways. I mean, all you're doing is looking for, what are you looking for from us?
Just looking for permission to be able to.
So you want to look into it, see if there's interest.
We want to see if there's interest, but we're really looking to be able to open like basketball, for example,
Yeah.
to 8th grade. Because a perfect example, where our 6, 7, and 8 for the middle school, our 6th graders came and played in the rec league as well. And it gave them so much more experience, and it gave them more skills to be able to bring to their school team.
I'm intrigued by this idea. The things that I would want to see is I would like, you said there's like just surrounding towns that have similar programs. I would like some examples of what those programs look like. I think it'd be nice to see how they do it and handle it. Do they run into that situation that David's talking about? Just to see, I want to see if this would be sustainable. How long have they been doing a similar program? How do they handle it? Comparable sizes. I think that would be interesting just to have.
Maybe a question, if I could ask a question. What's the role of the selectmen as it relates to what she's requesting? I mean, clearly we need to make sure that we have adequate funds to support the programs you're putting in place. But when it comes to some of these details, it seems to me that's the role of the.
Oh, it is.
I'm just trying to sort out exactly what our role is here.
Well-
And you're asking for permission to sort of explore the potential for some of these things, and I think we're saying yes.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the details.
Well, I think that's what she's asking, actually, to do the program, aren't you?
I'm asking to just do the program, and I'm
Oh,
coming to
okay.
you.
All right.
Because I've been told in the past that I need to get permission to do any molding to the program.
So I think what we told you was, if whatever the committee You guys vote on
And we
it,
did.
make a recommendation, or the committee recommended what?
It was a 4-0. So
4-0.
unanimous, yep.
Okay, and you recommend,
To open the program to up through 8th grade.
and you got plenty of funds for that?
It shouldn't cost anything extra besides that season.
So
If
they
you want-
And-
didn't even have to talk.
I'm glad you brought it to us, but I think you're hearing
We're good
confirmation.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone went through procedure, everybody did their thing, that's good,
That's great.
thank you.
Perfect. And then the only other thing I had that I wanted to bring to you is I had spoken with Dan a little bit, the one that does our website.
Okay, yep.
I spoke to him a little bit and he brought up the idea because on one of the things that we had sent out to people was if they want to be on an email list. We hadn't figured out how that was gonna work yet,
Who wanted to be on the email list?
for the rec.
Oh, okay, yep.
So that they can be up to date with, okay, we're having this. Perfect example would have been when we were switching things around with baseball. That we could have emailed all of those families that had been on that list. This
Don't you have
is
that text program that that the board approved?
It's Game Changer, that's only for teams. That's for our teams that we have
So
going.
who's gonna get these emailed? The grandmothers that don't get to follow the text? I'm confused.
No, it's so on the sign-up forms, we had people that would be interested in being on an email list. It's the same thing the town has, it's for the newsletter.
So who's gonna maintain the list?
So it would just be updated as needed.
By who and where's it gonna be maintained?
So he had asked about, or he had recommended that I get permission and ask about piggybacking off of the town's newsletter to create a rec newsletter that would go out to those that wish to be added on the rec mailing list. It would be a separate from the town's newsletter.
So you'd have to maintain, and I got the end of the conversation,
Yeah.
and being what I believed was the first supervisor to both of them, I'd like more time to look into it, because I didn't hear about this. I just heard the conversation, you should've came to me before you went to him. You know what I mean, so that we could kinda understand it, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's wise.
And because I've spoken to him separately, and maybe it's hard when you put somebody on the spot, you know, but what he would have to do essentially is maintain 2 separate mailing lists. And we'd have a separate newsletter, so you have the town one that goes out every week, and then whenever she wanted, it'd be a separate rec newsletter. So we have a certain amount of hours that we've got budgeted for him. It'd be a whole different newsletter, to go to just that list of people. I mean, we're happy to put,
everything.
well, and we have to look at how many of those 10 hours he's already doing,
Right.
do you know what I mean?
I know that,
No.
what's the program that we use? Is it
I don't know.
You know,
So you can sign up for the town website,
Yeah.
the town newsletter, or the rec. So she
I'm not
wants
sure
to
that-
maintain
I
two
believe
lists.
there's a way of, through the website, people just registering themselves to be able to get an email like, so it doesn't require Dan to actually maintain the website or the email addresses. They should be able to do that themselves.
Right, but she wants, what she's asking for is a separate, so that's exactly right. We have one for the newsletter at actamain.org. She's looking to, right now, we're adding any rec events on that newsletter that she wants to go out. She can email them directly if she has an event and it goes in the
Yeah.
town's newsletter.
Yeah.
She's looking to have a separate database of email addresses.
As long as
just
the parents
rec.
can maintain them themselves, I guess,
I was gonna say,
that doesn't bother me, right?
MailChimp-
Because there's no maintenance on Dan's part.
yeah.
And
if
so that was
MailChimp,
actually
you can-
Dan's idea.
You can create things so easily, because I use it all the time for various things. You create certain lists and they just add and you don't have to maintain it, and it's easy to do that.
But-
My concern is he gonna be making is he doing the newsletter? Because that would be the extra work.
No,
The-
so-
The maintaining the list, I don't think is gonna be the work, it's the
It's
actual
the newsletter.
newsletter that would be extra work.
So from when I went and I asked him if there was a way to be able to have an email chain for the rec, for those parents that want to be kept up to date. So we have, just like with the school, you can plug in one simple thing of saying, all staff, and it plugs in everybody for you on the email.
Yeah,
and you
they
can-
have that with MailChimp. They
Yeah,
have those.
so I was asking him if there's a way to do that, and then that was when he gave me this idea. Because I'm supposed to be working with him on our website anyways.
I think what I just heard Jennifer said is she needs some time to look
Yeah.
into this.
Nope, and that's
So you
fine.
and Dan and Jennifer need to sort of coordinate this, figure out what to do.
Yeah,
Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, sir.
perfect. That works. Otherwise, that's it. That's all I've got.
Thank you very much.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, liaison updates.
Oh, no, wait, no, that
Yeah. Department head.
Bill Langley, road commissioner. So last week we had that crappy snowstorm and that left us with a mess, so, we started today, well, today's Monday, right now. Yesterday, we started yesterday.
Oh, wait, what day is it? David was the same way, don't worry.
Yesterday, we started on the H Road. That was kind of like one lane up through there, so we went from Man Road to Acton Bridge, cleaned all that up. Went from there, went to the Canal Road, that was pretty bad, got that all cleaned up today. Went to Point Road, we were on Peacock Road this afternoon, so that's all done. Tomorrow we're going to Hopper Road, and I got a crew going to Riverview Drive, they're gonna go clean up there. They're going to Orchard Road, and then hopefully they can get to Garden Road. If not, we'll go to Garden Road next week, but the stuff we're picking up now, we're gonna use an excavator. It's too big for us to handle by hand, and then next week I got a chipper coming, and then we're just gonna ride around next week. Hopefully most of the snow will be gone by then, and then we're just gonna chip all the small stuff that's left. And then today I talked to Rick Smith, the EMA director, about, he told me to give him a rough number of what I think it's gonna cost to clean everything up, and he's gonna try to get us some money back for this and everything, so.
They must have declared it.
Oh, yeah, I think they did it
They
today,
did.
so he called me today, told him to give him a rough number. He said the work we're doing now, just I'll put that right into the number I'm thinking, and then he's gonna call me tomorrow, we're gonna talk tomorrow, so. I'm hoping by the end of next week that a good majority of this is cleaned up and done and over with, so. I mean, there's gonna be some stuff left over. There's some roads, I got some like limbs that broke off way up. I talked to my tree guy, hopefully maybe the end of the month he can come out. They're gonna start working on some of those spots, so, but we just trying to get the main roads cleaned up right now, because I've been getting some calls, and limbs are starting to come out of the snow bankings now, and, you know, the ones I can't pop, you know, the ones we can't cut and everything, but we'll, hopefully by next week, we'll be in pretty good shape.
How's the budget looking?
Good, we should be all right. That was my other thing is, if we get into a bind, I know there's probably gonna be money left in like the wintertime accounts. Could we like move some money around if we had to, or like?
Okay, look at the warrant.
Oh, we look at the warrant article.
How they wrote it out.
And I think we'll be like District 2, I know we'll be fine. They're like, there's plenty of money in there, like in the equipment rentals. I just looked at, Jennifer just sent me the updated ones.
They just got to move some money around.
Yeah, we just got to move some stuff around, and then in mine, in District 1, there should be plenty of money in there. But the work I had to do on District 1 with a machine is pretty much done with. I might be a little bit on Goose Pond Road next week, but most of it's just gonna be labor intensive next week, so.
I talked to Wayne, Rick called me about it to make sure we were keeping copies of your bills and everything to
Right,
send him. It sounded like he thought it'd be a fairly quick turnaround on reimbursement, so maybe we'll be okay with the numbers.
Yeah.
I've never seen it quick before. but-
I'm just,
No.
he said the county was over 500,000 and that he
Yeah.
expected it to.
On your brush and stuff, are they having you pile that, or is that something you have to keep track of?
No, he said just keep track of how many loads of brush that we're hauling.
I know when I used to do it, they used to come down and measure the pile up, and they would average so much.
Yeah, I know.
Chips, and they'd do chips. They would always come and measure your pile of chips.
No, I can ask him tomorrow, but he said, I even asked him about the piles of brush, he said just keep track of how many, you know, because we're hauling it right to the dump, and then Saturday I'll go up to the dump, and or tomorrow afternoon, Friday, if I have time Friday, we'll go up to the dump and pile everything up on Friday, then everything's in one spot. And I think when I had it this afternoon, we've already hauled 21 loads up there. This happened when we
Big truck loads, or?
Yeah, 10-wheel loads and tri-axle loads and all up there, so.
Nice.
So there's a lot of stuff, but no, hopefully the end of next week we'll be in pretty good shape, and then if the weather's good, we'll probably start sweeping towards the end of the month, if the weather holds and everything, but I think we're gonna be in good shape, so.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Thanks, Will, for everything you did during the storm.
Oh, you're welcome, thank
And
you.
your crews.
Yes, thank you, crew.
Totally amazing.
Any more department heads?
I don't really have anything.
Nope, nothing.
Okay, liaison updates, Paul?
I don't have anything. It was mostly getting ready for the town meeting.
Yep. Ed?
Nope.
Dan?
Not yesterday, but week before I had the Forest and Conservation Committee meeting I attended, another good meeting, and then just town meeting.
Okay, yeah, and I have nothing. Old business, treasurer, deputy town clerk position.
So the treasurer job applications are rolling in, Tom's reviewing them as they come in. And David and I met with, another candidate. I'm not sure if we announced that the last candidate the board authorized us to move forward with, took a job elsewhere. Okay, we didn't. So we re-interviewed another group. And, David?
Yeah, I was impressed, and really asked her a bunch of questions there. She answered them, I guess, the right way. And I think this is an individual that would work well with the others up here. So, so I'd like to make a motion that we go into negotiations with employee A.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Good, hopefully it works out.
Yep. And, okay, where are we? Okay. New business, Maine Municipal Association letter.
So Maine Municipal asked us to clarify a letter in writing as far as legal services and who has the authority to contact them. Tom and I ran into a little hiccup that we worked out last week, but essentially this letter says, so just to update, currently the town administrator and the treasurer are who has the authority to call Maine Municipal, so legal department. So it says, to whom it may concern, this letter serves as a request from the town of Acton to update our listing of who can contact MMA Legal. For our written request, effective immediately, please allow the following to contact any select board member, town administrator, town clerk, tax collector, and the treasurer. If you have any questions or need further verification, please contact our town administrator, Jennifer Rue, at blah, blah, blah. Lastly, we appreciate you notifying her when this has been completed. Warm regards.
Do we need a motion on this?
Please, to sign.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the letter dated April 10, 2024, authorizing certain positions to contact and deal directly with MMA Legal Counsel.
Second.
All in favor? Sorry. This fixes the hiccup, right?
This fixes the hiccup. Once they were good to us, we sorted it out.
Okay, I guess we're now B, planning board appointment.
Ed and I had an opportunity to meet with a individual that has actually been on the waiting list a while for the planning board. And I think he'd be a great addition to the planning board. His name is Roger Peral. He's a resident, retired Navy Yard, had some rather significant experience there. Nice guy, he's got a head on his shoulders, so.
It's a good high level
Yeah,
things that you dealt with, so.
I think, and Jason was in that interview and he felt comfortable as well. So with that, I'll make a motion that we appoint Roger Perot to a position on the planning board alternate member until June 30, 2024.
Yes, because he has to take the current seat that's already vacant, so.
Okay, and so, so I've made.
I'll second it.
Yes.
All in favor?
It's just the ending of a 3-year term, Tom.
Yes. So, will you notify him, Jennifer?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you.
So I do have a question on that. Since we had town meeting, is that when that term expires, is that gonna have to be reappointed?
Yes.
Or- Okay.
Yeah, you'll have several coming due. But anytime there's a resignation, they keep the same expiration date so that we can keep everybody in the same 3-year appointments.
Okay, public comment. You come on up, sir.
Good evening. My name is Ed Klasowski, and I'm a resident and taxpayer here in Acton. It's a nice community. But I'm here to discuss this Hopper Road situation here. From the big stop sign all the way to the barn light there, on the left-hand side, the road is just falling all apart. The shoulders are getting worse and worse, and it's getting to be dangerous even to drive on that road when cars come in the other direction. I'm just wondering if something can be done to fix that. I mean, and I also think that maybe that should be at least resurfaced from the stop sign to at least Bond Light at some point in time.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's getting pretty nasty up through there.
Excuse me?
I said, it's getting pretty nasty up through there, I said.
Yeah.
It's been, you know, you can see where the wings have ripped up the edge of the road and stuff, but, right now we're in a transition there, we got an election coming and all that. But, you know, for that side of town, as of right now, Will, is there any plans on doing any work on that? He's your road commissioner, he's the one
He's
that
a
should
road
done.
commissioner?
Not to pave it, but I know there's, the dirt's ripped up, we're gonna clean it up when we do our spring cleaning and whatnot, but by the ditch, you know, that really hasn't been brought to my attention at all, but, I mean, I'll definitely look at it, and if we
The
could.
shoulder's all falling apart and it's getting out further and further into the middle of the road and everything.
Yeah, no, I gotta go down there tomorrow, so I'll take a look at it tomorrow, and if something I can do right off, we'll do it right off, if not, I might have to wait a little bit.
And also, down the end of the road, almost to the New Hampshire line where that bridge is, there's a huge pothole there that's been sitting there for all fall and everything.
And we filled it in once, but there's another one coming back now, we gotta fill in.
Well, I mean, just would be nice if we could bring that up to standard.
Yeah, we'll get on it.
So your other road commissioner I deal with?
Yeah, I can talk to you after the meeting if you wanna talk some more.
All right. All right, well, I just.
We generally like people to go to the road commissioners and talk with them before coming to us. And we like the last ones on. Because he's the one that should know.
I was actually, he spoke to me at the town meeting. I said, why don't you come to the selectmen meeting, Will will be here. And so if I follow the right protocol, I figured he'd get a reaction.
No,
Thanks for coming,
I spoke to you also.
I'd like to see something done, you know.
He's
bring it up
going to. He's gonna talk to you about it.
When he says he'll do something, he'll do it for
I'd
you.
like to have a resurface too.
Well, let's get the first two done first.
It needs to be done, we know that. It'll no doubt will be in the place.
Some of it was done recently, wasn't it?
Most of it was.
The farther.
Yeah.
I think he's, yeah.
Just beyond fire roads is where I started.
All right, well, I just wanted to see if we could get something done in the next.
Do you wanna go in the hallway and talk with Will a little bit more?
Well, yeah, I will, sure.
Well, let's finish the meeting, then we'll do it, because you'll be able to hear it over there. so.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Someone else
coming.
here.
I also have, my name is John Burney, I live off of Hopper Road, and my question to the group here, there's 5 now, there's 5 selectmen,
Not yet.
now yet, they will be.
Yeah.
And who represents me anyway? Is anybody there that says, John Burney, you can come to me and talk to me? Is there a,
Well, you can always talk to the full board. You're welcome at any selectmen's meeting.
Yeah,
for public
I
comment.
understand
So
that.
we also, all the selectmen are liaisons to certain departments, and that's what we have on the agenda. So if you had a question with code enforcement, or you had a question with the roads or the fire department, if you come to me as the town administrator, I'll help understand your problem and guide you to the selectman that oversees that department.
because when I first got here, I can't remember the selectman who was there. He said, "Oh, I don't represent you." He says, we're here to make sure that whatever the town agrees to, that it's done." So that's what I'm asking.
If you, I mean, we have liaisons, this and that, but, I mean, I tell anybody, you can call me up anytime if you have an issue. I'm sure the other.
My next question is, you represent the town of Acton. How would I say that? What power would you have to go to landowners that own on each side of Hopper Road to say, there's gonna be a buffer, you're gonna be responsible for the trees? It's to the point where when there's a windstorm, we look outdoors and say, should we go down Hopper Road or not? That's not right.
Yeah, but, sorry, I mean, unfortunately, this is New England, there's trees everywhere. We've got a right of way of 50 feet, or rock wall to rock wall. I mean, unfortunately, the only way you can get away with not worrying about trees is being somewhere where there's no trees. I mean, these trees are 100 feet tall, no matter how far you go back, they fall in the road. We can't tell people they gotta cut their trees.
Why can't you? If it's a danger to one of your citizens, why can't you go, if the power company doesn't do it, our road commissioner doesn't do it, who's gonna do it?
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna take my.
if you're a tree in your dooryard, and I think it's dangerous to maybe you think I can tell you to take your tree down if it's within the right of.
Well, okay, I would research through a lawyer to see what can be done. It's not.
We can't do
We
anything.
have no power, sir, to
None.
do that.
None.
I'm sorry, we just don't. We don't have the power to go to a property owner and say, that tree you gotta cut. We just don't have the authority.
You have a legal opinion on it.
Yeah, I do, I do have a legal opinion. We were only allowed to work within our right of way.
Yeah.
That's it.
Are the trees further back than the area he discussed, the 50 feet?
Well, I didn't measure, but
Well, it's
these
25%.
there's bad trees on each side of that road, it's awful.
Those trees.
You gotta wait for somebody to die, get killed, get hit by a car.
Our road's got trees.
I mean, all the roads already have trees on them. so-
Yeah, I realize that, but I just wonder if you had a plan to do anything. We just went through a storm. You guys represent us. Are we gonna be in the same 5.5 days or 5 days without electricity the next storm we have?
Good possibility.
The
Possibility, but what are you gonna do? You know, you're gonna
They
be
say we
safe.
don't do anything, because that's the power company.
Yeah, it's not our job to put the pole on.
We wouldn't have the authority to go on and either force a property owner to cut a tree or have the town go in and cut a tree on their property. We do not have that authority, either way.
I would
Sorry,
want the authority
It's just
to do
not,
No.
I wouldn't want the authority to do that.
no, but
I mean, that's
not within-
that's people's right. I've got trees in my yard that I don't want touched, okay? And they're pretty close to the right of way. And, but I know the law, okay? I know what they can
And
and
if you
can't touch.
measure from the middle of the road, it's 50 feet?
No, that's
25
right.
feet?
So, no, so listen. Okay, when I say 50 feet, Law of Acton's not 50 feet. Law of Acton's only 32 feet, okay? Some of it rock wall. There's one at 50 feet, 109, I think it's 100 feet, okay, in certain spots out here, okay? It varies all over town, so you can't go by that 50 foot. But at the end of the day, Hopper Road is this. Hopper Road is rock wall to rock wall, because there's a rock wall down both sides of that. You can take 50% of the trees, the town can, okay?
If there's no rock wall,
If there's a rock wall, then, of course, we gotta, well, if there's spots there isn't, I guess, you're right. Most of it does though. The first section of it. Then we have to look up the records, but we're not going to be, we can't go beyond 50 feet. We wouldn't be able to do any of this.
Private property beyond 50 feet.
yeah, I understand that. Now, can you tell me on Harper Road, from the beginning here to the end, to the bridge, how many feet I'd have all the way down that road? I know if there's rock sides on each side, it's fine. Do you have that information somewhere?
Yeah, we've got that information, yeah.
You would?
I'm sure we can get that
Yeah.
information, yeah. But you can't touch it yourself anyways. You're not allowed to go do that. We would have to do that.
Yeah, I understand, but at least I'd like to know more about it, and know more about who's in compliance and who isn't in
Why?
compliance.
I would imagine that if there were trees there within those boundaries, they'd have to be deemed to be a hazard, would they not?
No, I mean,
I mean, you're gonna take every tree down between the rock, between, no, I mean, we're not gonna take every tree down between the stone walls.
Right, you're right.
I mean, it's just not, if there's a hazard, you got a tree that is leaning or rotten or whatever, I guess that might be deemed differently, but there's a lot of trees there between those.
Oh, I understand that,
And,
but it's gotta start somewhere,
and
you
you
know?
think about all over the town, that would be
Yeah,
the
I
case.
understand that.
It's New England, I mean, that's
Yeah.
just what happens.
Every tree could be conserved.
I,
Unsafe. I mean, you look at places like Sanford, they lost power just as much, and you have trees in backyards that people aren't worried about, and it's a slippery slope when you start thinking, you
My
know.
worst job, when I was road commissioner, one of my worst parts of my job was cutting trees in front of people's houses.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted the trees cut. Oh, no, and to think that we're doing, like, cutting anything beyond that. Oh, no. The power companies, they've sent their tree guys out, they've done a lot of work.
They've done a good job this year.
And I have no intention.
Well, you say good job this year, you tell that the guy that didn't have electricity for 5 days.
I didn't either.
No, but you say that, They didn't do a good job, did they?
They can't go back as far as, take every tree within the area to hit a wire.
To me, if we sit back and say nothing, and we just say when the next storm comes, we're gonna be in the same. As a body that represents people of Acton, should you have a plan?
No.
Or a
The
contingency plan, what are you
plan
gonna
is
do?
let the power company take care of their own lines. And what we do is we cut back far enough to get our drainage, this and that, but we're not cutting anything outside our right of way or anything that
I will
doesn't need
say,
to be an issue.
we do think about plans for if we had a mass outage for 5 days. I mean, that's what we have.
Living in Berlin, Dan.
And that's what we can plan for if there's a situation where a lot of people in town didn't have power, electricity, shelters. And those are the types of plans we can put in place, but nothing in regards to the trees. That's out of our purview.
And I don't think it would be the consensus of the town of Acton that's going around cutting everybody's trees down.
So if you drive down 109 north of here, and you look at the power wires and you look at the trees, it's impossible.
Take 109 down. Yeah, some of those trees cut back, but it's still on the line.
It's still hitting the lines,
So, I mean,
yeah.
trees are 100 feet tall, you have to cut
Yeah.
100 feet out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of those trees are 100 feet
Yeah,
tall.
yeah.
So, a lot of the trees that come down, the ones that we notice that come down, are the dead ones way out in the woods.
Yeah.
And it's because they've done a lot of cutting.
They have.
I guess probably beating this dead horse a little bit, where we cannot do anything with, outside our right of way. And, the road commissioner, they do tree cutting and they take down the dangerous ones.
Yeah, if it relates to the power, that's the power company.
We don't touch
And
it.
we can't touch any of that.
If you don't research it, you'll never know anyway, so anyway.
What's that?
My next question would be, for you gentlemen there. I'd like to know if you could tell me how many students that the budget that you presented to us the other day on Saturday or whatever it was, how many students do we have in Acton, Maine? Even if they go to Sanford, I want to know what's the number of students.
That is a question for the school board. I actually have, I'm sorry, sir, I mean, they manage the school.
No, that's fine.
They manage the school.
Yep, okay, anybody else? No?
I just
Okay.
have I just want to give a shout out. It's been some time because we didn't have it because of the weather. Terry Minahan did a really great Easter egg hunt event. I want to thank her and all the volunteers that put the event on, as well as just to everyone for coming out to town meeting. I know it wasn't the most ideal circumstances, but I was really happy with the turnout under the conditions. Thank out to Mary Grant and everyone else who showed up to volunteer and were present, and everyone else took part in that. And also just the town as a whole, seeing social media after this storm, people checking on their neighbors, extra plowing, bringing over food, it was just really inspiring. So for that, and our road commissioner, everyone who worked on the roads, thank you for the work that you're doing. Like, it truly is just like living in a town where it's so community based. So
I mean, I had to eat some crow a little bit, because when I showed up at town meeting the other morning, I'm like, nobody showed up. And then everybody showed up, so, no, it was good that everybody showed up. It was an interesting meeting.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we saw a lot of new faces.
yeah, which is
A lot of new
exciting.
I mean,
faces.
the fact we got through 50 articles with, in 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
The whole meeting was 2.5 hours, that was.
I think everybody got everything they wanted.
Yeah?
You know, a couple crazy things happened, but I think it was diverted. And,
Town meetings are for.
Yep, no, it makes it interesting, I guess. But, no, I'm excited about that.
Oh, well.
So, anything else?
Not for me.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I need to adjourn at 6:49.
Second.
All in favor? Good night.
Hey, well, thank you. Oh, yeah, you saved my knee.
Oh yeah.